Hi guys, so welcome back to the Chisme Corner. I have a really good friend of mine here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jessica Battle, a lifestyle influencer, podcaster, motivational speaker. Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited for us to chat. Like, I feel like we could just yap for hours. I know, we're like, we better get started. We're just gonna be yapping.
Like, we need to get started, girl, because we hear yapping. So we met on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't know when we started like following each other, but I know when we did, you were always showing love on my posts, which is really rare, because you know how like you follow people, and especially like in your niche and stuff like that, or like influencers, and sometimes they won't even give you a follow back, or they won't show you any love. But I feel like me and you always went back and forth, and I love that because I kind of love like forming friendships, especially in this area,
organically as well.
Yeah, because it's so hard. Like, it's so hard to form friendships, especially with what we do and on the internet and stuff.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that. Like, I was like, oh, Jess is the real one. Like, she's always showing love.
I think one of the things that like drew me to you is like listening to your podcast and knowing you were like a Delaware transplant. I was also a Delaware transplant, not close to my family here, and it's like, nobody fucking knows Delaware. Like, nobody is in Delaware. There's nothing to do here. And I was like, oh, this poor girl out here in Dover got nothing to do.
From city girl to Delawarean. Me and my sister call it, we like little DeLoreans.
Yeah.
Like that when she moved down here last year, and in her Wi-Fi it says DeLorean, and I was like, it's Delawarean, and she's like, no, we're DeLoreans now. And it was so funny. But yeah, being a transplant is super hard.
Absolutely.
Especially coming from where I came. It was like a culture shock, and I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't explain it unless you're actually in it. And then I also never realized how much it affected my life until I was here for a couple years.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, my life is really different.
Yeah. I didn't feel so much like where I grew up in Pennsylvania was similar to where I live in Delaware in terms of like my surroundings, but being away from my friends and family was definitely hard. Like, I don't have any friends or family that are closer than an hour away being here in Delaware.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just seeing you were a Delaware transplant, like obviously we have similar interests. Like, I always love your fashion, your hair, your makeup. I was like, I like to show support. I'm 100% a girl's girl.
Yeah.
And like, if I find people that I fuck with, I'm like, I'm going to let you know I fuck with you. Like, I think you're dope, and I want you to know that. And I wish that more people were willing to do that. But I think especially in the influencer space, there's like this feeling of like, if I let you shine, it takes away from me, and I just don't feel it needs to be that way.
Yeah, it's so weird because I feel like, especially now, we're living in it where there's endless amounts of influencers in every niche, and lifestyle, makeup, beauty, like
100%
fashion. Like, there's so many, and I meet so many people who are doing the same thing as me, and I've never looked at it like, oh, you're gonna take away from me. If anything, I feel like so inspired. Absolutely. Which I love, because I've actually been connecting more with more influencers, and there's times where I get really like I don't feel creative, or I just feel like I'm in a rut, you know, and they actually give me some type of inspiration, you know, and I love watching, getting new ideas and stuff, and not necessarily taking what they're doing and like duplicating it, but like just getting ideas and like, you know, making it your own in some type of way. Yeah. But I love having like that side where I can be like, oh, that was a nice idea, you know, like, 100%. Or I like that, like getting some type of inspiration from people.
I feel like that's all the internet is.
Yeah,
and
everyone
and creating it in your own way. And I think that there's people who are like afraid of like, oh, I'm copying. It's like, but that's what's happening online right now. Find a way to make it your own. Yeah. Take the trend and make it your own somehow. Like, put your spin on it. Yeah. It's fine to do that.
Yeah. But it's been really nice finding like community. But when I first moved out here, I'm very close to my family, like super close, especially like I was pregnant out here. Like, I literally felt like I was alone, even though I had Joe. Yeah. I feel like when a girl is pregnant for the first time, you want your mom.
And you're so close with your sister. You want your family.
I was just like, oh my God. I didn't. And it was crazy because I was so excited about all these new things happening. Like, I was like, I'm pregnant, and then I'm getting married, and like I have like a new house and everything. So once all of that kind of like happened and died down, that was when I was really in my feels about like, wow, I feel really
by
alone.
yourself.
Yeah. So it was like super hard. Where did did you...
I grew up in Pennsylvania, like around King of Prussia area. So not super far from where I live now. And again, like the surroundings were very similar, but having nobody close to me, like no family or friends close to me, has definitely been challenging.
So why did you move to Delaware?
Because of my ex-husband. I met him online. He was from Jersey. I'm from Pennsylvania. He had been living in Delaware for, I think at that point, probably like 2 or 3 years because of work. And so I ended up out here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever regret moving out here?
No, definitely not. I mean, in the last year with my separation, I had an opportunity to move back home if I would have wanted to. Yeah. But I do feel like over the last, especially probably like 5 years, I started to build a community out here and feel close to people out here. And like, I already felt like with so much changing in my marriage and like losing the person that I was closest with, it was like I wanted to keep as much familiar as possible. So I decided not to go back home because, yeah, of course, like I would have had my mom and my best friend, but it's like all of the day-to-day relationships and the day-to-day routines would change, and I felt like that was most important for me to hang on to.
Yeah, I think I would do the same thing. Like, I feel like my life is here now.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not that bad here.
Yeah, I know. People say that. They're like, Delaware?
It's
like,
really not that bad here. No sales tax. Whenever I shop anywhere else, I'm like, what is this?
Dope as fuck. Like, I love it. That's
low property taxes.
That really got me. Yes. Yeah. For that too,
low
especially since
tax.
we do like real estate and stuff. But,
yeah.
So I'm like, there's a lot of benefits. And I always say, like, it's not that bad. Like, I can travel back and forth to see. I always said if I don't need to take a plane to like see my family, I'm good.
I know. So, and that's the thing. What I think about is like, if I was going to relocate, it's not going to be back to Pennsylvania. It's going to be like to Miami or something. Like, I'm going to be out. Like
somewhere, like going to the West Coast.
I would love to. If it wasn't for my mom, I would. But like, I'm literally all that she has and leaving her behind. And she definitely would not want to like rip up her entire life and move somewhere.
Yeah, especially when they're like comfortable where they are.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about how you grew up and the space that you're in right now?
Yeah.
You help women with their lifestyle, their health. Like I know you talk a lot about eating disorders.
Yeah.
And just toxic diet culture and everything. So how do you feel like growing up that impacted you to where you are today? Like how did all of this start for you?
Yeah, for sure. So when I was like 6 or 7 years old, my parents separated and they had been together for like 15 years. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and their relationship just got to the point where it was so toxic and so unhealthy, and the entire family felt that. So my dad left and ultimately ended up shortly thereafter like completely abandoning my family. When I was 9, he sat me and my brother down at a Dunkin' Donuts and he was like, I'm leaving. I'm moving to Louisiana. I'm going to be with this new woman that I'm with. And he moved and literally started a new family, raised somebody else's children, and just basically completely forgot about us. And it devastated me. Like I was a daddy's girl growing up, and I was just talking to my mom about it the other day. She's like, your dad never liked either of your brothers, but you, like, he loved you. And it hurt me so much because like I remember my dad coming home from work and being like, oh my gosh, like my person is here. Like I felt safe with him. I loved him. And it was heartbreaking when he left my family. And so as a child at that time, now with a single mom who had not worked, she didn't have a job. My dad repossessed the car that we had. He sold the home that we were living in. He literally left us homeless. Like my entire family was sleeping on my grandmother's pull-out couch. Like it was crazy. I, as a kid, started looking for ways to feel better. And the way that I found to feel better was eating. And so I found myself 10, 11 years old, hiding food, sneaking food, eating food in large amounts. And at the time, obviously didn't understand like, oh, I'm emotionally eating. But as I grew up, I began to realize like, this is happening as a way for me to cope with something that is going on.
And you're starting to look at it as like a pattern.
Exactly. So when I graduated high school, I was 250 pounds, which was extremely overweight for me. And I decided I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to lose weight because I thought that will be the thing that makes me happy. And I think as many women believe, like living in a smaller body is going to be the key to living a happier, healthier life. And
no, not always.
So what I found for myself, I lost 100 pounds, very quickly ended up gaining that weight back, lost 120 pounds, then yo-yoed back and forth for years and years and years. And what I found was that I'm really good at losing weight, but I'm not good at maintaining a lifestyle that's actually healthy.
Yeah. And I was going to say back to what you said about people thinking like they need to be in a smaller body. I feel like there's so many women that I know that are in smaller bodies, but they're not. That doesn't necessarily make you healthy.
Exactly.
Like even I struggle with that. I'm skinny, as people would say, but I don't feel healthy.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I know I need to change about like myself and my diet.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, like, I feel like shit a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So, like, why would you want to feel like that?
Yeah, exactly. I was just talking to a client on my drive down here who is going through a separation and a divorce from her partner, and she has been struggling to take care of herself, and she's losing weight because she's not eating. And we're talking about how everyone around her is saying, like, oh my gosh, you look so good. What are you doing? And she's like, and every time they say that, I just start breaking down crying because it's like, this is not happening.
Stressed.
Exactly. It's not happening as a result of something good.
Yeah.
But it just shows how the world has trained us to believe that smaller is better. Smaller means healthier. Smaller means happier. Smaller means more successful, more worthy, more deserving, all of these things. And that is certainly the narrative that I've had in my head for my entire life. And I've been doing work to heal for 10 years now, and it's still, especially with the GLP-1 like epidemic, it's like
crazy.
seeing.
Did you see Serena Williams?
I literally just posted about it last night. So I've been binge watching Love Island UK, and I have to watch ads, and the ad that's on there all the time is Serena Williams saying, after having kids, I needed to lose 30 pounds. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the fittest, most athletic woman we've ever witnessed in the world.
That shocked me.
Me too.
That
and
really
it triggered me so badly.
It triggered me. So I'm just like, I see it constantly.
Yeah.
And with that, I was just like, wow. Like, I feel like it's so dangerous for someone like her with her reach to be promoting in that type of way. You know, especially saying like, oh, I have 3 months, or did she just have a baby or something?
Yeah, and she said after her baby, she had 30 pounds that she needed to lose.
Yeah, that is so dangerous to me, because I feel like we're already in in this culture, in this time where people feel like they have to bounce back so fucking fast. And it's like, let your body heal.
Yeah.
Let your body heal and take its time. Like, after I had my daughter, I struggled. Like, I had like a pouch, and obviously like I had gained a lot of weight for my body type, and I was okay with it. I was like, I'm not gonna like be so hard on myself because I just created life. Like, and even though like I see so much on social media, and it's like, oh, you have to bounce back and you have to do this and then this, like, you do feel pressure. Like, I can't lie and say there were times where I'm like, fuck, like I want to get my old body back or whatever, but that's because I knew the stuff that I was taking in on social media was making me feel that way.
Absolutely.
Because deep down inside, I was like, no, babe, like rest, you know, like it'll happen, or whenever you feel ready to hit the gym, then do that. But for now, just rest.
Relax. Exactly. 100%. I think I'm not here to judge what anybody does with their body. Like, what you want to do with your body is your preference. But it does concern me seeing the number of women who are using these drugs to lose like the last 10 or 15 pounds. It's like, how do you believe your life will really be different? Because is that really in the sake of being a healthier person? And I think that a lot of women mask a desire to be thin with a desire to be healthy. Like, they say, I want to be healthy, but what they do to achieve, and I was guilty of this, like I starved myself. The first time I lost 100 pounds, I ate 800 calories a day and worked out for like 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, all I wanted was to be skinny, because I was like, I'm going to be happy when I get there. But what I think many women fail to realize is that your body doesn't create the emotions that you feel. The way that you think about your body creates the emotions that you feel. So what I very quickly learned was, like, unless I work on the way that I think and feel about my body, just changing my body in and of itself is not going to change the way that I feel about myself. And so when I started to realize some of these things for myself, and I had been documenting my weight loss journey on social media. I was on the cover of People magazine. I was in the Huffington Post. I had gained like a lot of media popularity, and people were watching me, and I felt this obligation to start sharing what I believed now was the truth of like, just changing your body is not really going to change your life. And it just kind of organically turned into people reaching out to me and being like, hey, can you help me? And in the beginning I was like, I don't know, maybe. I was like, I'll try because I care. I'll try and teach you the things that I've taught myself. And it turned into now 6 years later having a really successful business.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You've created such an amazing like platform for yourself. And I love how you like help women so much. Like, I genuinely love following you, and like I'm just reading your stories and how you just connect with people.
Thank you.
It's really amazing. I think you've built something to be really proud of.
Thank you.
So what was there a moment or experience growing up that shaped like how you view health and self-love today?
I think that what probably shaped the way that I see things today with health and wellness and fitness is really the lack of example that I had growing up. Like I didn't witness anybody in my life like take care of themselves. My mom was a drinker, a chain smoker, an illegal drug user. My dad was not in my life. My brothers didn't play sports. Like I didn't really witness anybody take care of themselves. And sometimes I wonder for myself, like how would my life be different if someone instilled healthy habits in me? And it was like, oh yeah, we go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week. We go outside for walks. We eat healthy. We prioritize our sleep. And I didn't have someone that set those examples for me. And I think that's why, even though I've chosen to not have children, I still believe that we all get to be leaders in this world, and like we get to show up for the people in our communities and the people around us and be an example of what living a healthy lifestyle looks like. And so I feel very dedicated to showing the world what it looks like to really take care of yourself inside and out.
I love that. So that's interesting. I didn't know that you chose not to have children.
Yeah.
So what is it? Have you always felt that way, or is it just society now?
So this is always such a huge topic of conversation. And
same.
I love having this conversation.
I do too.
I think that society needs more of this.
Yes, me too.
So when I was 15 years old, I desperately wanted a child.
Really?
Yes. Could have been on Teen Mom.
It's so interesting.
I desperately wanted a baby because I did not have love growing up the way that I wanted from my dad. And there was a lot of toxicity and abuse in my household from my older brother, and really caused my mom to give a lot of her attention to him. And I felt very alone for a lot of my life. And I just had this belief of like, if I have a baby, like I'm going to have someone to love, and I'm going to have someone that loves me unconditionally. So fortunately for me, things did not pan out that I had a child at 15 because how wild that I would have like a 20-something-year-old kid. Right?
Your life would be so different right now, girl.
Literally. So after that, like when I started getting older and getting into relationships, I kind of felt like I have never had, other than being 15, like this overwhelming feeling of I want to be a mom. Like I need to be a mom. I want to be a mom. So I always told myself, like if I meet a partner that I fall in love with and I trust and believe in and believe could be a support to me and a support to a family, and they really wanted a child, then I would do that. But it just so happened when I met my husband, he was like, absolutely not. I fucking hate kids. I don't want kids. And I was like, oh, okay. So now people have been asking me since I've been separated for a year and I'm in a new relationship. People are like, have your feelings changed? It's like the question when I'm like, ask me and my boyfriend a question like, have your feelings on kids changed?
But honestly, it's okay if it hasn't. Like, I feel like we get pressured as women so much, like, oh, you have to have kids. Or, you know, if you don't have children, like, what's the meaning of your life? Or like, what are
Who's
you doing?
Who's going to take care of you when you're old? That's the one that kills me. It's like,
and I think that's the most selfish way to think. Like, I didn't have kids so that my daughter could take care of me when I'm old and senile. And that's not what I had kids for. Like, it's weird, but people have this weird, like, thing with kids, and it just equals like your worth as a woman. Absolutely. Like to have children. And I never understood that. And I'm like, because there's so many different things that I am in this world other than being just somebody's mom.
Absolutely. So the answer to the question is my feelings about having kids haven't really changed. I don't see myself having children. I think that at this point in my life, I'm going to be 39 years old next month. I think that I'm very set in my life. I am honestly quite a bit selfish. I like my time. I like my sleep. I like my money.
Give me that check and give me that bed.
Facts. Give me my coins and give me my sleep.
I love that for you. I love that.
Those are the things that I prioritize and care about right now. And I do wonder, like, it's not to say, and I think this is something that holds a lot of people back in life. It's not to say that I won't one day look back and be like, man, what my life would have looked like if I did have children. Or maybe there will come a time in my life where I do feel lonely and I wish that I would have done it. But it's like, I don't live my life anticipating the what ifs of the future. It's like, I just have to honor what I want in this season of my life right now and do the best with what's right in front of me. So I don't foresee myself having children.
No, and I feel like that could be with anything. Like you could look back and 100%. Think, what if for
I am certain there are women looking back on their life and wondering what might my life be like had I not had these fucking kids.
Exactly.
Not had these kids.
We think that more often. Like, oh my god,
where might I be?
I'm this mellow hoe face. Like, Now I got these gremlins running around. Please save me. So it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
But I think the best thing that you can do is, someone can do is honor the fact that they want to be selfish and that they like their life the way it is. Because if you feel like that and then do have kids, I feel like that is going to be even worse.
That resentment would be wild.
Exactly.
Could you imagine looking at your child every day and in some way resenting them? Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That, I just feel like I shouldn't have to have children because society says like that's my duty as a woman. Like, no, it's not. My duty is to get this bag and go to sleep at 8 p.m.
And look cute.
Facts.
I love that.
Facts.
So when did you realize you wanted to turn your personal journey into a platform to help other women?
It really happened, I mean, organically. I knew I wanted to document my weight loss journey the second time after regaining 100 pounds. I wanted to document it because it was like, this is a way to hold me accountable. This is like, if you were to scroll back to my Instagram from 2015, it was like still pictures of me in the gym, but like photos of like what I was eating and photos of my scale weigh-ins and like me literally just having a place that I was treating it like a diary. And it just so happened that when you started back then, like as it's still now, before and after pictures of weight loss, they catch people's attention. It intrigues people. They're like, oh, what is she doing? And so it just kind of happened organically that people took interest in what I was doing. Like I grew up, and I still am, a very shy person, a very introverted person. Like, truth be told, I don't really like people that much. Like I'm very much a people, like I'm good at acting and playing the game, and like I care about people, but like having a lot of people in my life has never been like my thing. I'm never like, oh, I need a circle of 15 friends. Like I'm not that kind of girl.
You're good with like just your genuine small circle. That's exactly how what is your sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh, you're Sag.
Are you a Virgo?
I'm a Virgo.
Yeah. I love Virgos.
I feel like people either hate us or love us.
That's how Sagittarius are. You know, they call us Sagittarists. Sagittarius.
I actually love that more now.
I do too.
That's very intriguing.
We are one of a kind.
What are like the traits of a Sagittarius?
We're just
I have a lot of Sagittarius in my life.
We're very outspoken. We're very fiery, spicy, say what we mean. Like
kind of like a Leo too.
We're similar to a Leo. Yeah. Very like huge heart, incredibly caring. Like we'll bend over backwards for you, but the minute you cross me, like, bro, you're done. Like I will make you feel no chances. Like it's done, it's a wrap. Don't even look in my direction again.
How do you do that? Because I feel like I'm at a point in my life where, well, I've been a people pleaser like my whole life.
Same.
But I don't know, I feel like I contradict myself sometimes, and I'm very confusing even to myself, and people can never like read me. And this is, I think this is probably why me and my husband have been married for so long, because he's like, you're so like intriguing. Like I can't ever like read you 100%, or when I think I have you figured out, I don't.
I'm the same way.
People wanting more.
Absolutely. It's very toxic.
It is. I know, right? I'm like, you're a little toxic, I think. But
very toxic.
Is that why you love me? But like, I just feel like I think about people so much. Not really like what they think about me, but I want them to feel like loved and cared for it all the time. Yeah. So in that aspect, I am a people pleaser. But then also like when people fuck me over or something, it can go both ways. Like either I can give you a second chance to like redeem yourself, or I just cut you off and act like you never existed to me.
100%.
But more times than not, I try to give people like the benefit of the doubt because I'm such an empath, and I'm like, well, I kind of like analyze people's childhoods, and I'm like, well, if they're like, they did this for a reason, or what did they go through that like now they're an adult and they do these things, like I'm like, I can't do that for people, because people know what they're doing as an adult. Like you can't take the stuff that you went through as a child and like not learn from it, and then keep repeating those same mistakes and treating people like that.
100%. But I do think the way that you look at it is a powerful way. It's something that I've been trying to do more of in my life, is to like try and understand that my life experience and perspective is not going to be the same as everybody else's, and they've been through things that I have not. But I agree, like there comes a point where you got to take responsibility as an adult and say, this is a problem with me, and so I'm going to fix it. And it's, I think the biggest turnoff for me and people is a lack of accountability. Like if you don't take accountability for your actions and you don't want to genuinely change and do better. But my biggest issue as a person, and something I'm working on, is like I'm such an empathetic, loving, caring person. Like I will bend over backwards for you. If I care about you, I will do literally anything to make you feel loved and special and important. my biggest issue is that I get resentful of people when they're not reciprocal of that.
Same.
And I'm like,
the reciprocation
it's everything for me.
I start feeling resentful, and we put ourselves in that
position. And that's what
I never asked anyone, you know, they don't know that I'm like wanting them to do these things back or anything, but it's something that's like, oh, if I'm doing this for you, and like, why can't you be the same way for me?
Exactly.
I'm the same, but I feel like I'm like, is that a toxic way to think?
Yes.
But I think it's also just like, you know how when it comes to like, I don't know, I'm trying to give an example. Like, let's you right now, like I got Starbucks and I was like, hey, like I'm gonna get you some Starbucks. Like I think it's just like being nice and like just being like, it's like common decency.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people
lack that. Absolutely.
Like, that's the main thing. I'm like, I feel like I think that all the time. Like, you don't have like common, like it's common decency to me to do these things.
Yes. And you and I prioritize other people's feelings. Yeah. Not everybody does that. And that's something that I'm having to learn and understand. And it's something that I'm genuinely working on in my life, especially now, like being back in the dating world and having to form new relationships with people. It's realizing like, if I'm going to give, I'm going to do it because I want to give, not because I have an expectation that they're going to do the same in return. Yeah. But it's hard because it's like, I feel the way I think is like, if you fuck with me the way I fuck with you, you'd want to do the things you'd want to do the things I'm doing.
Like, finally, I feel someone feels the exact same way for me, because I can never explain it. But I'm like, I did start, you know, like this year I had so much happen in my life, and that was one of the things that I was like, I feel like I give and give and give.
Yep.
And I was like, I feel like I never get the reciprocation. Yeah. And I'm like, what is wrong with me that I'm not like, am I not worthy? Like, am I not a good enough friend or like whatever? So I started thinking like that, and you can't expect people to love the same way you love.
Yes.
And I was just like, that kind of like stayed with me, and I was just like, that's something I have to work on, because I feel like I just give and give, and I always expect the same.
I resonate. I say all the time, Jessica, you cannot expect people to have the same heart as you. Like, people don't have the same heart as you. It is hard. It's really hard, because it's like, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel like it takes that much effort to look out for people. But I think for other people, it's like, it's a really hard thing to do. Yeah. So it's like just recognizing it's like a superpower of ours, and it comes easy to us. And that's why people love us and gravitate towards us. Yeah. But that's also why we have to be intentional in terms of who we let into our life, which is one of the conversations I want to have with you on my podcast about friendships and stuff, because it is hard, especially as this type of person.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I've been struggling with like a lot. So we can talk about that.
I resonate.
Part 2.
Yes.
We'll be having a part 2 on her podcast.
Yes.
So what was the hardest part about healing your relationship with food, and what was like the turning point that helped you rebuild the trust within yourself?
I think the hardest part about healing your relationship with food is that it's not an addiction like drugs or alcohol, where it's like I can completely just close this thing out of my life and like put it in the closet and lock the door, and I don't have to deal with it again. It's like when you have become a person who is dependent on food to feel better in your life, or you use it out of boredom or stress or habitual. Like for me, my binge eating was very habitual. It requires such a heightened level of self-awareness in your life to be able to like pause in the moment and be like, what am I doing? Why am I behaving this way? What am I actually seeking to feel? And how can I give myself that without turning to food? And I love being self-aware now, but in the beginning it was very hard, because I'm sure there are women listening to this who will resonate. Like when you have awareness that something in your life needs to change, or you want it to change, but you feel like you don't have the willpower or discipline to actually change that thing, it feels so fucking bad. It's like, because it's like in your head all the time of like, I know I don't like this about myself. I know I want to change this. I know this is not how I want to be behaving. Why does it feel so fucking hard to just stop doing? And when it comes to food, it's like, it's such a social thing. It's a celebratory thing. I need this to survive thing. So it's like, you can't escape it. So it's like really having to, the thing that helped me the most was really learning to look at myself as a woman that I love and respect, and asking myself, like, if I truly love and respect myself, how would I be treating myself right now? Like, how would I be showing up for myself? And that continued action of saying this is how I want to treat myself and treating myself that way, that's genuinely what rebuilt my trust, was like showing myself you can depend on yourself. You're a woman of your word. You're going to do what you say. You keep the promises and commitments that you make to yourself. And then once you start to trust yourself more, it's just so much easier to navigate through life, making decisions across the board, not just with your relationship with food, but with everything, like trusting myself to start a business or walking away from a corporate job or even divorcing my husband. Like if I didn't trust in myself or believe in myself, I would have stayed in that marriage another 10 years unhappy because it feels like I don't trust that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest thing, is growing into that self-awareness.
Yes.
Because so many people don't have that.
and never
and
develop
I think
it,
that
ever.
Really shapes you as a person, like growing up and especially right now, like I feel like people just need to have you have to have some type of level of self-awareness
100%.
to get through life.
It's uncomfortable and it's hard, and it requires a level of like personal accountability unlike any other. But at the end of the day, it's like your life isn't going to change itself. Like if you really want things to look different in your life, no matter what that's with, if it's your body, if it's your relationship with food, your job, your finances, your partner, like if you want things to change, you have to decide you're going to be the person that steps in and does the things to make that happen.
Yeah. I think we talked about when we were like on our Zoom meeting, how like we get like comfortable.
I think we might have been talking about how like we get so comfortable in the way our life feels that we don't realize life can feel so much better than it does. Like,
and then we were talking about self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, so we end up sacrificing like our happiness and things that we know that we deserve.
Yeah. For other people. Yeah. 100%. Especially as a mom. Like I can imagine that's definitely a conversation I want to have for my podcast as well, because I can imagine it's hard for women who, myself, don't have kids, don't really have other responsibilities besides my business and keeping myself alive.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to say, I'm going to get up and do these things for myself. It's like, it's so much easier to worry about other people's problems and issues and like, oh, let me call a friend and see what they need help with. Like, no, bitch, do what you said you were going to do for yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Exactly.
So how do you approach wellness without falling into like perfectionism or restriction?
Yeah. Perfectionism is something that I'm continually working on overcoming and improving in my life. I'm very much like a type A person. I want things the way I want them. I like routines. Same. I like structure. Yeah. And as soon as like one little thing deviates from that, it's like, oh, well, fucked it all up.
Fuck up my whole day.
Like, exactly. I think that navigating my perfectionism, I've come so far with that. And I've just really realized like, because for me, when I think about being perfect, I get into like black or white thinking where it's like, if I can't do everything exactly the way I wanted to, then I'm just going to do nothing at all. Yeah. When it's like, there are so many other options besides doing everything and doing nothing. Like if we see it as a scale, doing nothing is 0%, doing everything is 100%. You've got 99 other percents in there to, meet yourself somewhere. Yeah. But I think that when it comes to restriction and like, not allowing myself to get back into that headspace, because it's hard. Like it's something I've actually been dealing with a lot lately, of like feeling societal pressure again to shrink and to be small. As a bigger woman, I mean, I'm 5'9". Like I'm 200 pounds. Like I am a woman who is not going to be 5'2" and a size 2. Like I'm never going to be that. But society just makes you feel like if you're not that, then you're not worthy and beautiful. And I think social media has helped a lot with being able to see women of all shapes and sizes. And I do think that there's a lot of brands and magazines and things that are trying to be more inclusive to women.
They could try
harder. a lot
people in the beauty space that they still don't get like color matching's right, and they're so like, I'm like, girl, guys, we're like in 2025.
I know.
Like, can we just do this right? Like I feel like there's no more excuses.
No,
honestly.
there's really
not. All
not.
the resources, you have everything to work with.
I know. I was watching a woman yesterday on social media. She's so funny. I just found her yesterday. She was popping off on Club London about their clothes, basically talking about how like you claim to be inclusive up to a size 24, but your size is 20 through 24. There are 40 total items on your website. Your size is below that. There's 1,500 items per size. So it's like, how inclusive are you actually being? And when I order a size 20 to my door and it fits like a size 14, that's not actually size inclusive. Yeah.
Or this just shows, because of the little items you have, you want to look or appear that you're
exactly
like, inclusive.
You want to be able to say it, but you don't actually mean it. Yeah, you're not actually like doing it with your heart. You're doing it because you feel you're supposed to. Exactly.
Yeah, like that really pisses me off. Like, it's in every space. Like it's gotten out of control.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I feel like for the past couple years, everyone like, oh, we're making progress and like everything's getting better, and I'm like, no, like we shouldn't be still in 2025 making progress.
I know. And I feel it's just going back in the opposite direction now, with
especially now. I feel like now they're starting to bring back like women, you know how like BBLs were like a huge thing?
Now it's like the heroin chic, super skinny 90s look again. I'm like, oh my god, where are we going?
Did you see? And I hate like judging women, and I don't want to feel like I'm being judgy, but when I see something that I feel like is unhealthy looking, I can feel it. Miley Cyrus did like a cover.
I didn't see it. She's like, girl, is it on her Instagram?
I'll show you it.
I mean, none of these are looking real good. So if it's looking worse than this,
it's like something like this.
Oh wow!
Like I don't know. It wasn't exactly this one. There was one specific picture that I'll try and see it after. It doesn't look like healthy. You know, like it really doesn't look.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like them. Like they look. It looks kind of like sick, you know?
Well, it's interesting because when I lost 120 pounds the second time that I lost weight, I then went on to lose 30 pounds leading up to my wedding. And I remember like I would go into the office at my job, and the girls there that I worked with, they were like, Jess, like, are you okay? Like, you don't look well.
Yeah.
And I look back at photos of myself now from that time, and I'm like, whoa, like I look so sick.
Yeah.
But when I got on the plane, I got married in the Dominican Republic. When I got on the plane to get married, my best friend's husband said to me, who I'm friends with, I love him like a brother. He said, you've got to be done losing weight after this. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I need to come home and lose 10 more pounds. And that was like my breaking point, because I then went to get married, and I was in the Dominican Republic for 11 days and I gained 21 pounds while I was there, because as soon as I landed, I went fucking insane with food. Like the day of my wedding was sitting on the floor in the bathroom in my wedding dress, eating chocolate bars by myself before I walked down the aisle. Like I was just like,
I feel like wedding is already such a stressful time too. So
absolutely.
It's like all the stress and like all the planning and everything, like that probably took such a toll on you.
Yeah. And it was hard because my family wasn't there. My mom was like in the depths of her alcoholism at the time and wasn't at my wedding, which was really hard for me. There was so many facets of it, but that was like my breaking point. I was like, I'm so tired of living where I'm like losing 30 pounds and then in a week putting the weight back on and then hating myself and feeling like just it's like feeling like a failure over and over and over again, when it's like really you're addressing the wrong thing. Like you're obsessed with being skinny, but you're not addressing like what's actually going on within yourself.
You're obsessing over the number.
Exactly.
You know how like people throw away their scales? How do you feel about that?
I think that if the scale is like triggering for you in a way that it makes you feel like, okay, I got on the scale and the number is down, I've been a good girl, let me eat less today and see if I can get it to go down again tomorrow. Or the opposite, like if you get on the scale and the number has gone up and you're like, oh, what I'm doing is not working, what's the point in trying? And that makes you then go sabotage and like eat like the world's coming to an end. I think that then it's unhealthy and it makes sense to put it away. I think if you can get to a place where you see the number on the scale is just a piece of data that has nothing to do with your worthiness as a human, then it can serve as a tool on your weight loss journey. Because like I very much do not agree with restrictive diets and like obsessing over diet culture, but I'm also, as a woman who has lost 100 pounds, like it would be hypocritical of me to say like, oh, don't lose weight. If you want to lose weight to be healthier or genuinely just feel better in your body, amazing, do it, but don't expect it to be like a fix all to your life.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you too. I was gonna ask you like what advice you could give women who are trying to like unlearn toxic diet culture.
I think understanding that a smaller body is not the solution to a happier life would be the biggest thing that I think people need to realize. And unfortunately, I think a lot of us need to experience things to believe them to be true. Like, did your parents ever try and teach you a lesson and you're like, I'm not trying to hear it. Like, I don't believe you. I need to go
through it. I need to go. Oh, shit,
they was right about that. Exactly. Yes. So I think a lot of people, I know I did, like I had to experience like, oh, living in a smaller body actually doesn't make me happier in my life. I had to experience that to actually believe it to be true. But I think the problem also is women who have lost weight and then gained weight back, when they're in a bigger body, they start to romanticize living in the smaller body. Because as we do, like when you break up with someone, it's like, oh my God, he was so amazing. Like, why did I ever break up with him? Actually, no, sis, he sucked.
Because
like you, but you don't think about those things when the breakup is over. You're just like, oh, I miss my man. Like he was so amazing. No, he wasn't. And neither was your small body. Like there might have been things that you enjoyed about it, but you have to ask yourself, who did you have to be and what did you have to do to achieve that? And if what you had to do and who you had to be was not sustainable and maintainable for the rest of your life, then it's not something that you should be doing.
Facts. I think that's a great great advice to give people, especially in this society that we live in now, where I see all these new like diets coming up and the GLP-1s and stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, I know this has helped. I know personally people who have been on it, and I don't judge, and I'm just like, but I'm also like, just be careful, you know, and like just also accommodate your lifestyle to where you're making healthier choices.
Exactly. I have a number of clients who are on GLP-1s.
Yeah.
And I would never say, obviously, like, I'm not a doctor. It's not my place to say what you and your doctor believe is best for your body.
Yeah.
But I admire them so much for still making the choice to work on the things that is going to help them be successful long term. Because for most people who are starting a GLP-1, it's like, how many times have you actually lost weight in the past? Probably a lot. How many times have you gained weight in the past? Probably a lot. So it's like, sure, this can be another tool that helps you, but you have to at some point take accountability and address the things that are happening within the way that you think, within yourself, within your confidence, your self-esteem, your body image, all of these things.
Routines,
your habits, patterns, your routines. Exactly. Because even people who are taking GLP-1s and are like, well, I'm just not hungry, so I'm not eating. That's not healthy. Like, it's not healthy. Go to the gym and lift weights and prioritize your protein if you're going to be on a GLP-1. Like, you have to make sure you're actually prioritizing your health.
Yeah, definitely. So what does healing look like for you on a day-to-day basis now?
Oh gosh, it looks exhausting. it looks tired. That's why I don't have kids, because I need my sleep. I'm so busy healing.
I need the sleep now. Okay.
I'm busy healing. You know, healing for me at this point, I've been on a journey of personal development and self-discovery for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Healing for me is self-awareness in my life, paying attention to who I'm being, how that makes me feel, paying attention to the actions and habits and behaviors and routines that I'm participating in, how they impact the way that I feel about myself. Healing is choosing to be intentional with my time, with my energy, with my words, with the people that I let in my life, with what I'm ingesting, what I'm watching, what I'm eating, what I'm, paying attention to those things. Healing is offering myself grace for not being a perfect human, because I think it's frustrating when you feel like, gosh, I've been working on myself for so long. Like, why am I still dealing with this? I think we talked about this on our Zoom call as well. It's like, I believe the things I've struggled with in my life, perfectionism, all or nothing thinking, people pleasing, unrealistic expectations of myself, of other people. I don't believe that these are things that will ever fully go away. I think it's just I learn how to navigate through them better and process them in a healthier way that doesn't sabotage me quite so much. So it's staying aware, staying accountable, being willing to have hard conversations with myself, because
I think that's the hardest thing.
It's so challenging, because we want to just like avoid things away. It's like, well, if I pretend it doesn't exist, it'll just disappear. No, it won't. It won't go away.
I've tried that
it actually just gets bigger.
Exactly. It starts to fester
and worse and harder to deal with. So, I mean, obviously I love reading. I love listening to podcasts. I love taking in new information. But I do think that we're in a time where we have access to so much information that it can almost, for a lot of people, feel like information overload.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
I just think true change happens through taking action and like allowing things to be messy and allowing like life to unfold and learning from your mistakes. And I think that's a huge part of healing, is like being willing to look at the things that didn't work in your life and say, why didn't that work? What was my role in that? And how do I improve that moving forward? Yeah.
Now we say, like, let life.
It's gonna.
Sometimes like, life is literally gonna life. So let that shit rock.
Exactly.
And just roll with it.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
One day at a time.
So you went through a pretty public divorce. What was that like? What was it like navigating that, and like just navigating a private heartbreak in such like a public space?
Yeah, it's been hard. I think we were talking off camera about some of the difficulties that I've had in navigating my divorce so publicly. And I think anyone who shares themselves the way that you and I do is like, there's such a fine line. Like I talk on my podcast every week. I'm on my social media all the time. Like I want to be careful about the way I portray the people in my life. And I've done, although his family might not agree, I've done the best that I can to be respectful. I've only spoken kindly about him. I've not aired I've not aired any of the I've tried, and trust me when I say, like, I'm hurt. Like, I'm hurt by his choices. I'm hurt by my situation now. Like, I had to walk away from my home. Like, I had to completely uproot my life. And yes, it was my choice to walk away from the marriage, but in large part because of his choices and behaviors. And those things are not things that I want to share publicly. And so I think, like, my audience specifically took it as like, whoa, like, this is very shocking, because I wasn't talking about our problems. Because I think it's very important in a relationship to protect your relationship at all costs.
And honor it.
If I show up on my social media, I'm like, yo, my husband's acting like a piece of shit. He's doing this, he's doing that. And then I got 300 women in my DMs like, oh, leave him. It's like, okay, then when I turn around and forgive my husband and y'all still mad about it.
When this is what we do all the time. And this is why I say, like, social media is such a highlight reel, because people can post something and they can be arguing with their husband that day. And I'm not going to sit here and record it and post it or talk about it, because it's just normal shit.
Like,
we argue,
life.
You argue, that's what it is. But am I going to sit here and talk about every argument we had? Like, no, if we want to talk about it together on, like, the podcast, whatever, hey, remember when this happened? That's our business to do. But in those moments, I'm not thinking about broadcasting that to people, because it's just my life.
It's your personal personal life. But I think sometimes there's like a fine line of, like, your people and your audience not understanding that, like, I'm not, and I think even worse for you, because you've been on television, I'm not just here for your entertainment. Like, I'm navigating a real life behind the scenes, and
not just me, like, like we were talking about taking into account so many other people's feelings. And stuff like that, which is hard.
So it's been challenging. I think my community has been incredibly supportive of me always. Like, they're ride or dies for me. They love me. They have my back. They want to see me happy. And it's interesting because so many people have come out of the woodworks and said, oh, I never actually thought your husband was a good fit for you. And I'm like, interesting. Thanks for that. But the way they just feel like they can just say whatever they want to you is, you know what I mean? And I get it. Like, I understand. We take interest in strangers, and we feel, I know they're like, even you and I, like, I feel like I know you feel like you know me, but we don't really know each other. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's interesting, especially when you're the one being followed and the relationship is very one-sided, and they're just looking at you and you don't know them at all. So there's been a lot of interest in wanting to know why and this and that, but I'm like, my personal life is my personal life, and I've shared with you what I feel comfortable, and that's that.
I love that you were able to set that boundary. And I always say, like, the people who, like, love you and are truly there for you, they're going to respect that
100%.
No matter what, because a boundary is, people are going to respect it, and the ones that don't, it's because it doesn't, like, serve them for whatever reason.
Exactly.
So what's one thing that divorce taught you about yourself that you didn't really know before?
A lot. I've been reading a lot about, I just started reading this new book. It's called Why We Do the Things We Do. And it's very interesting about relationships and childhood traumas and all these things. But I think that in my marriage, I claimed that I was a very good communicator, when in reality, I was just avoiding hard conversations so that communication always felt easy, because I wasn't willing to bring up the hard things. And I think that if I could go back and do things over in my marriage, one of the things that I would have done was tried harder to have the conversations that were important to me sooner, so that maybe there would have been more of an opportunity for things to be fixed and be corrected. But it's challenging when you navigate conflict with someone and you see that it doesn't go well. It's hard to then want to address conflict again.
Because you're like, how is this going to go now?
Exactly. So in the past, when it's like you feel like your feelings have been shut down or invalidated, it's like, I know I'm an emotional person. I know that I feel a lot. I know that I can be needy. I know that I want specific things from someone. And I think that I realized early on in my marriage that he was not someone who was capable of giving me those things. So I stopped asking, and then I became resentful. And I wish that I would have been more honest with myself sooner. And I wish I would have been more honest with him sooner.
So how did you begin to rediscover who you are outside of, like, just being a wife?
I think truthfully, that's not something that I've really struggled with, because I don't feel like I ever lost myself in marriage. I think because I was
going to say too, like, I think a lot of people, like, in marriages, sometimes we do, I think in the beginning too, like, we'll get caught up in, like, the title sometimes. Like, oh, I'm married, and like, this is my husband and I'm his wife. But then it's like, it's just a title. Like that doesn't take, it's just like mother, like how we're talking about being a mother, like that doesn't take up like your whole,
right. Like I think that you can lose yourself in that if I was in a traditional role where I was like a homemaker and he was bringing home the money and I was cooking him dinner every night and folding his laundry and like, you know what I mean? But I ran my own business. We had a cleaner. He did most of the cooking. I did the laundry. Like it was very much I never lost myself in that. I think what I did lose that I wasn't really anticipating feeling and experiencing was I have very much felt a sense of loss in terms of feeling like I have no nuclear family, right? Because like I still have an estranged relationship with my dad. I have a good relationship with my mom. Don't have a relationship with my siblings. So my husband had become what felt like my family. It felt like this home, coming home to him and coming home to my cats, like that was my family. And even though it's just him that's now removed from the situation, I feel like I lost the family that I had. And I
think that's valid.
Been hard. That's probably been the hardest thing for me.
Yeah, I could definitely relate to that, especially because you're away from that, you know, like we were people who we moved away from what we knew and everything. So you kind of do have to create your own
little bubble.
And you live in that, and when you live in that for so long, it's like you don't want to know anything else but that sometimes.
Absolutely.
And coming out of that bubble can be so scary.
I think too, it's just I was talking to my mom about this the other day. It's just like I know I'm in a great position in my life, like I'm at a good age, like I have an amazing business and I'm financially secure, like I'm at a good place in my life, but I just never saw this happening. Do you know what I mean? Like I really got married with the hope that I would be married for the rest of my life. And I think it's like those personal feelings of like failure and like letting myself down and wondering like, did I try hard enough? Should I have tried harder? And it's like, I knew it was time to go, because I think when you know, but it's still like, it's hard.
I think that's something that any woman that goes through probably can't even put into words, because I mean, I feel like I would feel the same way. I feel like that's valid, you know, like, and you're not a failure. I feel like you are someone who you stay true to you no matter what, and I can tell. And like we were saying before, like we give people and we give and we give and we give and we love and we love and we love, and I think it's okay if we're not getting that in return, or we feel like we're just settling for a love that is not what it is. And it's okay. You've been with him for what, like over 10 years. Like think about how much you've changed, how much he's changed. Like people change. People don't realize like the person you marry is not the person that you are with now. Like especially if you've been with them forever. Like I look back at my marriage and I'm like, I don't even know the person that I was when you first proposed to me and all that. Like we were like babies. Like I look at it and I'm like, we're like babies, and like we've grown so much. And me and him had a conversation not too long ago, and I was like, I feel like we've grown so much separately, but then we also like we make it a priority to still grow together. But it's still hard.
Absolutely.
Like that is the hardest thing, when you're trying to still discover yourself separately. And then still, you know, grow together, because sometimes you can get caught up. And I always say like I'd be like, the branches are they're all over the place. Like we're not growing together, like we're branching out. Like we gotta get back.
That's such a good analogy.
I always say, I'm like, we're branching out. Like we gotta get it together. But it's hard. Like and especially me, I'm someone who I'm very like, I like, my competition is like me yesterday, you know? So it's like every day I'm trying to focus on who I want to be next, and like how I want to like improve myself. And sometimes I'm so tunnel vision and just like me and me and me. And I can be selfish in that way. And I say all the time, like, I'm like, I know I'm selfish, but like sometimes you got to like bring me back to life, you know? Absolutely. Like it's us, like it has to be a team, you know? And it's hard. I'm always telling people like marriage is, I saw something the other day and someone was like, oh, like if marriage is hard to you, like it's not something you should be in. And I was like, that's bullshit.
I disagree. I disagree with that.
I was like, I disagree with that.
That's like saying if anything in life is hard, it's not for you. It's not
for you. Exactly. And they're like, I was like, I get it that it shouldn't be that hard. Like it shouldn't be a hard every single day. I get that.
And it shouldn't be a disrespectful hard or like an abusive hard.
Like being exactly like that. I get. But the way they were saying is like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard. Like, and I'm like, marriage is hard. Like, I don't get like, I don't know what type of marriage y'all are in, but marriage is hard, and it is very much like a very like, you have to put in whatever you put into it is what you're gonna get back. You know, so if you're putting so much into it and he's not, like how is that fair to anyone, you know? And you have every right to walk away from that.
Absolutely. I think it's just accepting that. And I think this has come from the years of work that I've done on myself, and something that I've noticed in myself and clients of mine that I work with is like, when you raise the standard for how you treat yourself, you start to raise the standard for how the people around you treat you. And I think over the last 10 years, like continually working to improve myself and to feel like I've raised these standards for myself. You've not really raised standards for yourself, and now you're not meeting the standard that I have for the person that I want to be with. It's like, that's a hard truth to come to terms with.
Well,
it's
that's
a
growth,
really,
baby.
it hurts. I need a nap.
No, but that's like you're leveling up, and if someone is still on that same wavelength that you were at 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and they're not growing with you, like, what do you expect? Like, you're gonna get left behind, you know? Like, it sucks, but that, I feel like that is growing, that's leveling up, like that's life. Like, who wants to be stagnant all the time? I'm someone that I can't be stagnant. Like, I need to see us growing and like doing more. Like, I don't want to be stuck in the same place. And luckily, I mean, I do have a partner who feels the same way, but not to say like we don't get stuck sometimes. You know? Like, absolutely. So it's like, either I'm gonna level up and you're gonna come with me, even if I have to drag you with me. But if you decide to stay there, you're gonna see the difference in the relationship. I
actually think that kind of conversation was the breaking point for me, because he literally said to me, like, I'm good with my life the way it is right now. I don't want anything more. So if you expect me to be a person who's going to try to create more, it's not me. And that was like the hardest thing to hear, because it was just like, thank you for taking that accountability and for finally being honest with me, because I'd been asking these questions for years. So thank you for finally being honest. But
it could have saved you a lot of time had you said it earlier.
I never, ever regret the time that I spent with him. Like, he is a good person, just not the person for me. And I hope that he works on himself, and I hope that he finds someone that loves him for exactly who he is and the man that he wants to be in a relationship. But I needed more, and I had needed more for a really long time. But it's just like one thing after another, after another. Eventually you get to a point where you're like, whoa, this is a lot.
And then you're just like, this is not the marriage that I thought it was gonna turn out to be.
Exactly.
So like, what are some boundaries or non-negotiables that you have now that you didn't have before?
For relationships? For romantic relationships. So I think that I am being incredibly honest with myself about the kind of man that I want to be with. And I do not want to allow myself to settle for less than exactly that. I know that no one is perfect, but I also know myself, and I have a really fucking bad habit of falling in love with potential, and like seeing potential in someone and being like, oh, I can fix a man. Like,
I think a lot of people have that. Like, a lot.
Like, I don't want to fall in love with potential. I want to be with someone who meets me where I am. But I think the biggest thing that I'm craving in life from a partner, something that I missed for a really long time, was emotional availability, vulnerability, and just like genuine human, like soul level connection. That's not something I ever shared with my husband. Like, even in the beginning of our relationship, he was very attractive to me physically. He had a good job. He had his own apartment. He checked the boxes of the things that I thought that I wanted in a partner and needed in a man. But having grown into a woman who can very much take care of herself and wants to take care of herself, it's like, I don't need someone who can pay my bills for me. Would be nice. But I want someone that is emotionally available, who can handle the bigness of me, because I, like you said, I think a lot of people see this in me. I am very authentic to myself. Like, I'm not going to switch up for anybody. Like, what you see is what you get with me. And I want someone who like genuinely sees me and accepts that and loves me for who I am, and can tolerate that I have a lot of emotion, I feel a lot, I expect a lot, I have high standards, and I just want someone that is willing to meet me there.
So like, you have a new relationship now. So what feels different about it now compared to like when you were in your previous marriage?
I think that all of the things that I just talked about wanting from a person, I have found in the man that I'm dating now.
I love that for you.
Yes, Oz is amazing. He's amazing in so many ways. I am trying to live very presently in the moment and understand that I still have healing to do. Like, I'm certainly still grieving. I have work that I want to continue to do on myself. But I think a lot of times, and I thought this as well, like, I thought that I should be whole and healed before I show up to a relationship. And I read something very early on after separating from my husband that said something along the lines of like, you actually don't heal by yourself. You heal, especially relationally, you heal in a relationship because you need those emotional triggers. You need those mirrors. You need to be able to see those parts of yourself in order to grow. And I think that being with Oz has been very healing for me. We're so similar in our personalities. He's so emotionally available, very vulnerable. Like I genuinely feel like when I look at him, like, yes, I see him physically, but like I feel connected to who he is on the inside. And that's not something I don't think I've ever experienced with a man.
Yeah, it's so different when you just feel like that, like it's like an electricity. Yeah.
It's like I'm like I be feeling like, am I high right now? Am I on drugs right now? I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's really amazing to connect with someone like deeply. It's really special. Someone who like really, like I feel like we look at each other and we just get it. We've been through a lot of the same things and experienced a lot of the same things in life, and we think about things similarly and we approach things similarly. So
I love that.
Thanks.
I'm so happy for you. I could cry.
All right, let's relax. The whole internet is attached to the idea of this like being my person now. They're like, oh my God, he's the one for you. I'm like
you know, I was going to say, because you were talking about how you read on the internet that you have to be healed. Like before you meet someone or whatever. I never agreed with that either, because I feel like even if you're healing on your own, like how much healing can you possibly do
by yourself?
Yeah, because I feel like we have to rely on community at some point, and we have to rely on other people. And I feel like there's this thing now where, you know, everyone is so independent and everyone is so, oh, I don't need anybody, or I don't need this, I don't need, like, but we do need each other. You know, like we do need other people to like rely on for things and for support and for, you know, emotional support and love. And so I feel like, I feel like there's things that when I got with Joe, like he healed in me from past traumas, and like I wasn't putting that on him, but he did heal me in ways. Like I was going through so much with my dad when I first met Joe. I was going through so much with my father, and he healed me in so many different ways, you know. And it's like now till this day, like I had so much shit happen in the past with friendships and stuff, and he heals me, you know, like, and it's those things that's like I could not have done that by myself. Like I'm like, I can't even picture, like I know I could have, but I wouldn't have wanted to.
100%. I saw something the other day on social media that said like having a boyfriend now is like an
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I saw that.
Like
it was like a Vogue article.
It's like having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I was like, is it?
You were like, fuck.
I was like, damn, I just got a boyfriend. Like, using the word boyfriend is crazy to me. Like, I got a boy. I'm 38 and I got a boyfriend.
Right? Like, I was
it doesn't even sound a partner. Exactly. I'm like, that's my man. Like,
that's
it doesn't even
my man.
It doesn't even sound appropriate.
Right? It doesn't. Boyfriend is such a weird term.
I know. But something that I've been learning about myself is like, probably because of my abandonment issues, I have kept so many people in my life at arm's length. Like there have been so few people that I like actually let close enough to my heart that they could like destroy me. Do you know what I mean? And Oz is someone that I feel like I've let close enough to my heart that like if he wasn't a part of my life, like it would temporarily destroy me. Like it would really break my heart. I don't really care if it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend. Like that's so dumb. Like I want people close to me. Like I want to have friends, girlfriends, a man. Same.
I'm
like
a
romantic lover girl. Like I just want. I am not embarrassed by the fact that I want to love. I want to be loved. I want to give. I want to be given to. Like I want all of these things. I
want you to be
in excess. Like,
exactly. And as long as, and it's funny because I want all of these things, and I'm like kind of, I don't know, it's so weird because I am a lover girl and I love love and I love all these things, but it's very hard for me to be like touchy and like feely. Like physical touch is not my my love language. My love language is like acts of service and like quality time. Like if me and Joe were to like go to like the supermarket, I'm like, oh my god, we're hanging out, like I love this. Like I'm like, oh my god, like this is gonna be fun. Like, and it's like that is like my lover girl type of shit. Like it's so weird because I'm not, and it's funny, like people, you won't catch me like PDA in public. Like even Joe, he'll like be like, let me hold your hand, give me your hand, and I'm like, leave me alone, like stop. It's such an ick for me, but it's so funny. He's like, why are you like that? He's like, but you're such a loving teddy bear. Like, I know you're such a loving girl. And I'm like, it's just the physical is like not, it's never been my thing.
Yeah. Everyone receives love differently. I think if there's another thing that I have learned from my marriage is that we cannot expect people to receive love the same way that we do. Yes. Like, I am big on like writing someone a handwritten love note is like my favorite thing in the world. Like,
I have done that so many times.
I love it. My ex-husband would like open a gift and not even open the card, and I'm like, that's heartbreaking to me. Like, open the card first, read it slowly, intently, word for word, drop a tear, like, tell me how much it meant to you.
I'm watching your emotion as you read it. Like, oh my God, I love that.
Like, I just want to see how much it means to you. And I had to realize, like, that's not how words of affirmation are not how he receives love. He was very like physical touch, like wants to hold my hand or be close to me or cuddle me. Like, that's how he wanted love. And selfishly, it was like I expected him to love me the way I wanted to be loved. But I do think it's our duty as partners to learn how to love the people we're with in the way that they want to be loved.
And it's hard for me because that is his like top love language. Is, like,
he's like, come here, baby, and you're like,
girl, he would be all over me, and I'm like, babe, like, you're killing me. But I had to, like, I'm literally like, you know what, this is his love, like, this is what he loves. And like, I do love that. Like, low key, I do love when he's on top of me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not like, I won't initiate first or something like that. But like, now I do my best. Like, it comes in waves for me.
I think it's hard when you're overstimulated. I don't like being touched when I'm overstimulated.
And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, I am an easily overstimulated person.
And my brain is constantly going. So if you're trying to like touch on me while my brain is like trying to figure something out, it's like,
and our jobs are so different. Like, I talk to people. Like, I talk to myself on this podcast all the time, and then I'm talking to people on social media. Like, I'm constantly engaging in conversation all day. I'm exhausted because he always said, he's like, this wasn't like when we first got together. Obviously, I'm like young and like that was one of my love languages, you know. But now as I got older and I became a mom, and all these things, I'm so overstimulated. Like, I always have someone in my hip. Vivi is attached to my hip all the time. As it is. Even
you have a lot more responsibility, which puts a lot of mental and emotional weight on you.
And then also, I breastfed for a long time. So that was another thing. I was like, after that, I didn't want anyone touching you. And I think that really did make a difference in how my love languages changed. Because now I'm just like, I get so overstimulated, and even like if you're on top of me, I'm just like, oh my God, like, please, I need space.
Absolutely.
So it definitely changed me, like, as a person. But I'm like, I want him to know, like, I love him. And you know, but I also do tell him, like, our love languages are really different. And who knows, maybe I will get there one day. Like, they change consistently.
Absolutely.
Because his wasn't always that either, you know? But I'm just like, we have to meet each other like where we're at. But it's really hard for me when I'm just an overstimulated baddie. Like,
that's an amazing example of a good relationship though, and a good marriage is like having a willingness to like want to meet your partner where you are. And I feel like that's something that my marriage definitely lacked. And I just think it's like, I've grown up so much that my hopes are like moving forward and being in relationships, I'll be more accountable, more aware. I'm definitely more clear on what's important to me and what's not important to me. And I want to like spend my life with someone. I want to be like 90 years old looking back and being like, oh my God, look at our life together. You know what I mean? Like, I want that.
I feel like the movement now is like, and I love it. Like, I love seeing all the independent baddies. And
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Girls, like, I feel like girls are just discovering themselves, and they're living in their apartments by themselves, and they're doing things. And I feel like everyone needs that, you know, at some point to just discover life on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just someone who I'm like, no, I want to die with my person. Like, I want to be
cuddled up.
I want to be with my person forever. You know, like, that's how I've always been like that. Like,
me too.
I've always been like that.
Yes, I've always been a relationship girl. Like, I want to be in love. I want to be with someone.
Do you think it has to do with our abandonment issues?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's definitely
like, we just want to be
toxic
loved
trauma. It's definitely toxic trauma. But hey, I mean, you're dealt the cards that you're dealt, and it's like, I'm not going to withhold the things I want for myself in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm aware and making sure that I'm not like actively choosing someone who's like manipulative or narcissistic or toxic and like abusive, like, let me have a man. Let me have my boyfriend. Even if it's embarrassing, let me have my boyfriend. I want my boyfriend.
Oh my God. So what advice would you give to someone who's like scared to start over after divorce?
Oh gosh. I just think like I know how overwhelming it can feel, especially as you get older. Like, I'm 38 and there are moments for sure where I'm like, oh God, I'm old. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm not.
Yeah.
I know I'm not. But it's
not.
like, oh, so I can imagine how someone in their 40s or 50s or 60s might feel and like, oh my gosh, I'm starting over. The thing that I constantly remind myself of is my mom has been sober for almost 6 years. And one of the things that I said to her when I was literally begging her to get sober like 7 years ago, she was like, honey, she's like, it is too late for me. She was like, I'm almost 70 years old. Like, I'm not doing this. It's too late for me to change my life. And I remember having a conversation with her and I was crying and begging and pleading. And I just said, Mom, like, if you're going to be here for another day, like if there's going to be air in your lungs for another day, don't you deserve to live the life that you really want to live? Yeah. And I think it's like, it's scary to walk away from what's comfortable and what's familiar. But if you know genuinely, like, and you know, your heart knows, your soul knows, like your gut knows, if it's not serving you, you have a choice to either continue to be in something that is not serving you for another day, another week, another month, another year, 5 years, 10 years, or find the courage to say, this is not serving me and I'm going to go find something that is, or I'm going to go be by myself and heal. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be scary. It's going to be unfamiliar. There's going to be sacrifices. But at the end of the day, it's like your one life experience. How do you want to spend it?
Yeah. We only get one life.
One. This is it. Like, you don't get a redo.
I hate how cliche it is, but it really is. Like, the older you get, the more that goes into every lesson and every experience that I'm having. I'm like, wow, I only got one fucking life to live. Like, I am not doing this shit the way that I don't want to do it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to do it exactly how I want it.
Exactly. And it's okay for that to be messy. It's okay to not, I think a lot of times we want to have everything figured out. And it's like, you're not going to have it all figured out. You're not going to know who your next husband is going to be before you leave your current man. Like, you got to be okay being by yourself and letting life play out. Like, let the shit unfold the way that it's meant to.
Yeah.
But you have to have the courage to make that change and take the first step.
That's some real talk, girl. So what's next for you in this next chapter of your life?
If I'm being honest with you, I feel like I am just at the beginning of coming out of what's been probably one of the hardest years of my life. Yeah. I don't know that I knew how hard running a business was until I was running a business while my life was like falling apart in front of me.
It's so hard.
And there have been
you don't even want to get out of bed, let alone run a damn business
or inspire someone to be their best self when you're like,
you're not your best self right now.
My life is falling apart. Like, I feel like such a massive failure. Like, it's been,
that's the hardest part, is like having to show up for other people when you can barely like show up for yourself.
Yeah. In a job that requires you to be on camera and to speak
all the time,
and it feels like you're acting when you're doing this job, and to feel like you need to learn to turn it on when you were just crying 15 minutes ago, or like you're living out of boxes in your 1-bedroom apartment now. It's like I feel like I have not given a lot of thought to what is next for me. I've been surviving, if I'm being honest, but right before my separation, I had just started like speaking on stages and traveling as a keynote speaker.
I saw that.
Yeah. And so I really want to get back to doing more of that now that my life is settled and I'm feeling in a better place mentally and emotionally. So I definitely see more of that in my future. I would love to get my podcast on YouTube. Like, I feel like now I got a man that does this for a living. Like,
I was just telling you, like, you're so lucky. I'm like, yo, you're so lucky that your man is a photographer, because my man can barely take a picture for me.
You're not going to shit on Joe like that.
He's got some goodies. He's done some good stuff. He tried.
He did all of this for you.
He did. I love that he tries. Like, if I ask him to do, if I ask that man to do anything, he'll be like, I'll do it the best I can. Yes. Like, I will do it for you. That. And then I'll learn.
It's about the effort. Yes.
So I appreciate that.
If you ever need a photo shoot, Oz will get you. You can come down and hang out with me.
For me, but I will definitely hit you up for that.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, it was so funny. I'm like, this man can't take a picture to save his life, and this is like my job. I'm like, I wish.
I know. It has been amazing.
It's amazing. I see your pictures and I'm like, God damn. Like, I wish I had someone to do this shit for me. It's so hard.
I told you I was real specific on what I want in my next relationship. Being able to serve me in my business is a requirement.
I love that. No, but I love that y'all, like, it's like you guys work well together.
Yeah, I love working with him. It's something I did not have in my marriage. He took no interest in my business at all. Like asking him to take a pic, he'd be like, oh, for real, do I have to? And now I have a man that's like, even today, he picked my outfit out for me, and before I'm leaving, he's like, oh, do you want to get some pics? I'm like, no, I'm running late. I don't have time. I don't have time. But like he always wants to snap my pics, like whether it's like a photo shoot or we're just going out on a date night. It's amazing.
That is so cute.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that.
Thanks.
So how do you define wellness today in like one word?
In one word? Oh my gosh. I think that if I had to describe wellness in one word, I would say, I'm pretty sure this is one word because it's hyphenated. I would say wellness is self-compassion.
I love that.
Because I think that when we think about being healthier, for so many people, it's coming from a place of like hatred towards ourselves and feeling like not enough. Like I'm not healthy where I am. I'm fat. I don't like the way that I look. I don't like the way my clothes fit. I don't like the way that I feel in my body. And there's a lot of like disgust towards ourselves. And I think that plays a huge role in like the perfectionism and why we like start and stop over and over. But I think if we could approach like wellness with self-compassion, we would realize that so much of being healthy really does start within yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself. And that's one of the primary things that I work on with my clients is like, how do we get you to be a woman that actually loves herself? How do we get you to be a woman that actually wants to respect herself, set boundaries, stop people pleasing, keep the commitments you make to yourself? Like, how do we get you to be that? And I think that a huge piece of that is having compassion for yourself.
I love that answer. I think that was perfect.
Thank you.
So you have you did a retreat not too long ago.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico.
I know, I saw
it was amazing.
that.
I thought of you the whole time. I was like, what would V wear?
Girl, if I hadn't just went to Puerto Rico, I would have showed up. Like
I was like literally stalking. I was like, what would V wear in Puerto Rico?
I remember you when the jersey.
Yeah, the Shein. I was like, where did you get this?
I was like, you have to get the jersey. Oh my God, I love
so
Puerto
cute.
Rico.
Yes, it was amazing. Unfortunately, I was there for a short period of time, and it was all work, so I didn't get to like explore. But it was my first time. It was amazing. It was
energy
gorgeous. And yes,
different.
It felt so this was my 5th retreat. I do them every year. Every client left feeling like this was so healing. Like wasn't because of anything we did. I think it was just like the energy of being in the rainforest in Puerto Rico. Like it was insane.
It shifts. Like I always feel healed, and I always feel like my most authentic self when I'm there.
I love that.
And I'm like, I'm just connecting with like,
you should move. You know, they got like business tax breaks and stuff now.
Well, me and Joe, our goal is to like in the future, once you know we have to wait for Vivi to be done with high school. So once she's done, we want to move to like different countries and just travel. So we want to do Spain. He definitely wants to move to like Japan at some point.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to live in Puerto Rico for a little bit.
Yes.
Like I just want to reconnect with old
Absolutely.
family members, whoever I have left. That's
where you should start because it's like home away from home.
Yeah. And I was like, I would love that. But I'm actually I really want to open I want to purchase like a home out there just to rent out as like an Airbnb, but then also to have when we go, because I go often. So I told Joe, I was like, how awesome would it be to just have like our own space? So we're trying to like do that.
That's awesome.
But hopefully we'll have like our own little home out there soon.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is my
it's
favorite
so
place in the
nice
world.
out there.
It's my favorite place in the world. People actually ask me all the time, like, would you move to Puerto Rico? And I was like, girl, if I could up and move today,
in a
I
heartbeat.
would take Vivi with me right now. Like, we would be there, you know. But we gotta wait for these kids. They live out here, like their life is here, you know, so we gotta wait for them to like finish up school and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
You're so lucky. You could pick up and leave. Like
I got an elderly mother, so it's like there's you know what I mean, because I am the kid who takes care of their parents. Take care of your mom. So
So do you have a retreat coming up?
Yeah, so I'm doing my 6th annual. It's crazy to say that retreat in Greece this year. I'm so hyped, like crazy.
That's gonna be crazy. The pictures. I'm jealous.
Can you imagine? I know. I'm like crossing my fingers. Oz is still my boyfriend.
Oh my God, he will be. Wait, when is it?
Not until September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
girl, you'll be good. I feel like time flies. Like
it really
goes
does.
By so fast.
I know.
Like you'll be there like tomorrow.
That's what it's gonna feel like for sure. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell everyone where they can find you, your socials, any website, your podcast.
Yeah, so I think the best place to connect with me, especially if you're new to my world, is my podcast, The Queen of Pep Talks. It'll give you an idea of who I am and what I stand for, what I teach on, what I care about. And then obviously social media, Instagram, join_Jessica_XO.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like this conversation.
I know. We were yapping for How long have we? It's 1 o'clock. How long have we been yapping?
Like this podcast is gonna be like an hour and a half long, but it's okay. Like I
love that.
I love that for us.
So fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.